to me, the biggest win is getting these real fitness professionals to understand business, but most importantly, the online digital business world, because my inner purpose and mission for what I do with NontraFit is I hate seeing these online influencers beat our people. Like there's people that have devoted their life to the craft of fitness. They are passionate about it and being the best at delivering fitness to people. And unfortunately, most of them are losing online because they don't understand how to market like the influencers do. They don't understand how to build a true community. They don't understand how to make a good, irresistible offer. It's not about what their program is, but they built this loyal tribe of following. And then also they've developed some awesome systems that support all of this stuff.
Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome to Masters in Fitness Business Podcast, where you get to stand on the shoulders of giants. And today we have a giant coming from the great metropolis of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes.
So formerly of Miami, we have Garner on, and his tagline is faith, family, and fitness, man. That's what he believes in. That's what that's what he lives. So he owns NontraFit Coaching. They specialize in the online fitness coaching. So if you have a 100% online business, or if you have a brick and mortar that has an online component, then he can help you with that. He's been a Men's Health contributor. He was discovered on the Next Great Trainer. I know I just butchered that. You can correct me.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. And then he became a contributor. He's written articles. He created a DVD series on Men's Health. He's been a personal trainer. He's bought and sold 3 facilities so far. And he was a personal trainer down at Anatomy in Miami, which is where all the beautiful people go, and had quite an operation. So this guy's been around, and he knows what he's talking about. And he said his goal was to be the best guest ever and give out the most helpful information that anybody ever has. So we're going to give him an opportunity to do that. And I'm going to help him out too, because that's what I want for my listeners as well. I want every guest to be the best and give you information that you need to be more successful. So Sean, welcome to the show. Where did I screw up on that?
No, nothing at all. So I will say this, like I know people might accuse me of having a big ego. I don't want to be the best. I want to give the most value. I'm sure that there's a lot of, I always joke, I'm a kid from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Like I'm a nobody. You probably have a lot cooler guests and bigger names and stuff, but I want to make sure that today's episode, everybody's like, oh my God, Jim, that was the best episode. I took so much away from that. So that's what I want to make sure that we do, is we give everybody some actionable items, things they can take away, they can implement in their fitness business so they can continue to grow and have success, whatever that means to them.
Awesome. All right, then let's do it, man. Let's knock it out of the park. So my first question, so since you've been doing NontraFit coaching for about 3 years.
Yeah.
And obviously before COVID. So COVID has changed everything, where a lot of brick and mortars that never thought about going online have been pretty much forced to go online to survive, continue to survive. Now, and I know the past year, online training, coaching, fitness businesses have exploded. So, and they've been the majority of the growth in the fitness industry because of COVID. Now that it looks like we're starting to turn the corner on that a little bit with the vaccines and everything and the cases going down, what role do you see online coaching, fitness business playing moving forward? Is there going to be a shift back to brick and mortar? Is online going to go away? Is it going to stay? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, great question. I will definitely say the quick answer is it is here to stay. So if you are a brick and mortar facility, you got an in-person personal training business, and you're thinking, okay, well, things are going to open up and things are just going to go back to normal. Let me wake up. There is a thing called a new normal now. You are not going to open up your facility and your clients are just going to rush back in and everything's going to go back to normal. There is so much change that has happened that I'm hoping that you're not just waiting for a switch, or I don't want to give you permission to not change. Like if you haven't done anything online, you are missing a huge opportunity. I see fitness professionals, especially when honestly, COVID has been so much easier now to convince the real fitness professionals to go online. But before COVID, it was always the argument of, well, you can't do as good a fitness online. Like I need to be able to be tactile. I need to be hands-on with my clients. Like you just don't understand my style of training. I 100% get that. And what I always tell fitness professionals, I agree with you that the best way to deliver the act and art of fitness coaching a movement is done currently in person. However, I also firmly believe that the fitness industry is the service industry, and we are called to serve our clients. And so in order for us to most effectively do that, it might mean that the art and act of delivering the fitness takes a step back so we can truly serve them and give them fitness when they need it, how they need it, and where they need it. I can't tell you how many times as a personal trainer that I had clients had to cancel sessions because, oh man, a kid got sick, or oh, I had an appointment, something came up. And so how am I truly serving my client if they have to be at the mercy of my schedule, especially doing one-on-one stuff? If I have an online component, that enables me to deliver fitness to my client and truly serve them when they need it, how they need it. They shouldn't have to have their fitness suffer solely because I was a busy trainer and didn't have room in my schedule. That's not really service. And so that's my opinion for that aspect. As far as going forward and leveraging online fitness, what you need to realize is that, like, quote unquote, online fitness is so much more and can be so much more than doing Zoom workouts, sending PDFs, and just delivering workout content. If you are, let's be super, I'm a very positive, optimistic guy. So let's be super positive and say everything is going to go somewhat back to normal and you're going to get a lot of your clients come back into the gym. You still have a huge opportunity with online. Let's say you've got some of your most dedicated clients. They come to you 3 to 5 days per week. And so they might not need a quote unquote online or at home fitness program, right? But we know this as professionals. There is so much more to delivering good health and wellness and fitness than just the sets and reps. So that's where the real fitness professionals like you guys can leverage an online platform to deliver what I call the other side of fitness. So yes, they're with you that 1 hour, 3 to 5 times per week, but what else could you do and how could you leverage online to further build your community to help them with those other factors of fitness like sleep, nutrition, stress management, their overall wellness, recovery, movement. There's so much more that can be covered and delivered because you don't have time to sit there, and it's not necessarily scalable to do that in that 1 hour block of session where they're showing up to your group fitness or your personal training. So creating that is what is going to, one, if they do come back, keep them coming back because you get that 1 hour a day at most 3 to 5 days a week on average. So by having that online component, that keeps you connected to your clients 24/7. So whenever another pandemic or COVID situation happens, inclement weather, whatever it is, you're not just selling sets and reps anymore. Because I'll tell you that if you are a fitness professional just trying to sell sets and reps, you will fail. Most people can get, especially now, probably better fitness and nutrition programs online for cheap or free than what you're most likely giving to your clients. So if you think that's all your worth is, you don't know what actually the art, I would say, of coaching is, and you're missing a huge area of opportunity to actually coach somebody and not just be a workout deliverer. So I got all fired up about that, Jim. That's
yeah, that's good. You're passionate. I like that. I'm passionate about it too. And I couldn't agree with you more. I love that. I call it the other 23 hours, right? Yes. The other 23, because you get them for an hour a day, but if they're really going to, if you're really going to have an impact on their health and fitness and their life, then you got to touch them at least a part of that other 23 hours, like you said, because within that 23 hours, that's when they're dealing with sleep, when they're dealing with their nutrition, when they're dealing with their job and their family and all those other things. And if they're going to be successful at creating a healthy lifestyle around fitness, then they have to clear all those hurdles. And obviously they're coming to you for advice, and so you need to help them with that. So anything you can touch them and the other 23 is a win.
Yeah. And then, and that's the thing with it too, is we, in our industry, we focus so much on the sets and reps, the exercises and stuff like that. But I think if we are honest with ourselves, we probably, it's like the 80-20 rule, right? We probably talk about that stuff probably more like 90% of the time, but it doesn't really give them 90% of the results. The things that we know actually gets the clients amazing results: stress management, sleep behaviors, quality nutrition, and overall wellness. The movement aspect and the quote unquote like sets and reps stuff, that doesn't deliver as great of returns as some of those other habits are. And those other habits are more easy to maintain for longevity and overall health and wellness too. So we put too much emphasis on that stuff. And so that's where not only do you have an opportunity with leveraging online and tech and stuff to better serve your clients, but just keeps them connected and gives them the overall holistic approach to fitness.
I agree. Yeah. So you are providing something different than what they're getting currently. So when the pandemic hit, everybody, there were two schools of thought. Everybody kind of scrambled to get online. They had to figure out Zoom. They had to figure out all the technical stuff and set that up, which was a mad scramble. And then you had the other gym owners who said, well, I'm just going to wait until this thing clears and things go back to normal. A lot of those people aren't around anymore.
I was going to say they're probably the over 50% of gyms that have shut down now. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So, but since then, people have gotten over the clumsy phase, and now it's gotten pretty slick and pretty high end on what some of the people out there are delivering. So all of a sudden, you not only have local competitors, but you have national competitors that are fighting for the same demographic, same clients to offer what you're offering. So where do people need to go to differentiate themselves when delivering online fitness businesses?
Yeah, that's a great question. So kind of one of the pros and cons, I guess, would say about an online platform is, one, you're not confined to your local market. So me, for example, when I had my first gym, it was in Owasso, Oklahoma. I'm assuming nobody on your show, Jim, knows where Owasso, Oklahoma is. Everybody knows where Miami is, where I was at for the past 5 years. But so I could not charge a premium price in Owasso, Oklahoma for personal training. I was lucky whenever I was here to get $60 a session. Like that was, I mean, I felt like I was crushing it if I was able to pull that. In Miami, a personal training rate was anywhere from 150 to 250 an hour with where I was working. So that's dramatically different.
Yes.
So that being said, that's one of the pros about online is I can market and I don't have to be confined to a local market price point. It's now the marketplace determines the value. So I'm able to target clients in major cities. The con with doing that is now I'm targeting clients in other major cities. And guess who wants to do that? Every single other fitness business online, because they know that that's where the money is. If you want to truly be successful and stand out in an online environment, I think I always call the real fit pros. So the people that I want to work with EntreFit Coaching, or consulting company, are the real fit pros. I always tell people, I'm not looking to get you more Insta famous. If you want more likes on your booty pics or your supplement like deals, like I'm not your guy. Go find somebody else. But if you're a real fitness professional and you can actually change people's life, man, I want to help you crush it online. And what I see with those kind of people is they want to try and help everybody because they actually do have the skills and all the tools in the toolbox to help everybody. But if you try to appeal to everybody online with your marketing, you will end up attracting nobody. So just because you have the skills to serve a wide variety of clients does not mean you should try to market to a wide variety of clients, because then do you know who does that? The people that have like $1 million ad spend budgets like Peloton, Beachbody, and those huge corporations like that. They can go after a wide demographic. I'm assuming most of the listeners are not doing $1 million in ad spend on the show. So whenever you do that, if you want to stand out, you have to be very specific about who you want to attract online. The second thing, so saying that, if you have a brick and mortar facility and you're going online to attract those people, you have to be known for something, but you can't be known for everything. Your in-person business can and should be viewed as a second facility from your online. It should not be, I tell people all the time, doing online training is not advanced or paid for social media content. It should be viewed and treated as its own standalone facility if you want it to make standalone facility income. If this is just something you did just to get yourself passive through, it's probably being managed like that. And so don't be surprised if the income reflects that. If you truly want it to be successful, it has to be treated like another facility. So that being said, it can have a different thing that it features and a different target market that it's attracting than your in-person facility. Because whether you realize it or not, your in-person facility is attracting a specific individual now. It just probably happened by default and not by design. So it was the people that go to your gym probably live within a certain mile radius. They're looking for a certain style of training and a certain price point. And it just happened to create a demographic that built up inside of your gym. When you go online, you have to do that exact same thing. You have to know who you're going to attract and what problem you're trying to solve for them and how you're going to make their life better. So that's one aspect of that. The second thing of it is you can't go and try and be like everybody else online. Not just with your target offering, but like I said, you cannot, as a fitness professional, think that you're going to have success if all you're delivering is sets and reps and a nutrition program. People want, need, and desire the other things of fitness. Now, more than ever, people want connection. I 100% believe people want to go back to the gym, but their lives have kind of adapted to this new normal to where they've gotten comfortable with working out at home. They've realized, man, I can get a pretty good workout in and not ever have to leave my home office. I'm saving more time, which time is money. They've adapted to their life. So getting them to now give up not just an hour for your class, but then 30 minutes drive and 30 minutes there and back. Like that's 2 hours of their day when they could do it at home for 45 minutes. Like people are looking for more. So saying all that, if you are trying to create your online fitness program and you just want it to be sets and reps, you're going to lose. You have to leverage online to deliver a holistic approach to fitness if you want to have success with this.
So much to unpack there. That's all.
Yeah, sorry, man. We're just fired up.
Don't apologize. I love it. You're delivering on your promise. So I love the fact that if everybody's your client, then nobody's your client. The analogy I always make is sports performance, right? I'm a hockey guy and
Yes.
I love hockey. I'm passionate about it. I train a lot of hockey players. So if you have a sports performance facility, what sport do you specialize in? Every sport. Well, then nobody's going to go there. The baseball guys want to go to the baseball guy. The hockey guys want to go to the hockey guy. The hockey guys don't want to go to the football guy or the baseball guy or anything else. They want to go to the hockey guy. So you have to specialize. No matter what field or area you're focusing in, you have to specialize. You have to create that niche, and then you got to own that niche. I agree with you 100% there. And then I love the part about treating your online business separate from your brick and mortar. Because I can see a lot of people making that mistake because they are really two demographics and they can be two demographics. I mean, you can, identify your ideal client for your brick and mortar and then go after your ideal client, your specific client for the online and create those two different streams of revenue. And to your point, my girlfriend over COVID started working out with this lady, Caroline, online. She has a YouTube and her videos are really, really slick. And she says, she's just like you. If I go to the gym, I said, well, why don't you go up to my gym and train? She goes, well, then I got to, pack a bag. I got to drive up there. I got to work out. And then I got to come home. I got to shower. I got to change, so 1 hour turns into, 2 hours versus I can train with Caroline for 45 minutes and be done and get back to my day. So I agree with you. People have adjusted to that. And I don't think it's anything that's going to go away. And a lot of people probably want a hybrid, probably a combination of kind of a brick and mortar and an online option. So, and I agree with you about full spectrum service delivery, not just sets and reps. So let's talk about how you would coach somebody on doing that effectively. What are some effective techniques to reach clients online and touch them in that other 23?
Yeah, great question. And just like everything, every answer in health and wellness, it kind of comes down to, it just depends. It depends on several different factors and what type of facility that they have set up. I'll say that one of the, going back to like the helping the real fitness professionals and them initially coming online, where a lot of them struggled is I heard this all the time. You don't understand my gym. My clients don't want to go online, or my style of training doesn't work online. I bet now your gym doesn't work at all because it probably closed down, unfortunately. But what I would say is that's where I would have to coach them and work with them. It's like, okay, I understand what you currently have been doing in person may not be best utilized in an online format. This is a completely new opportunity to where you, as a solid coach, fitness professional, can create a completely separate fitness concept, and it's delivered online. So whenever it comes to helping them create this holistic kind of health approach, there's not a one, we know this, there's not a one size fits all approach to fitness or to business. And so you have to be able to know what you're strong at and where you can add value or collaborate with other things. So for example, man, you maybe got into the industry, you're a personal trainer, you grinded a lot of sessions. A client said, you should start your own gym. You went out and you started your own gym. And so you're really, really great practitioner, right? And art, your fitness is your art. You can write programs better than anybody and get clients great results. There's probably a lot of blind spots that you have. And now you got this online thing and you're trying to create this online program to give this holistic approach. This is the beauty of online. You don't have to know everything, because with online, we can connect with people from all over the world. So you might not have a registered dietitian or nutritionist on staff, but guess what? When if online, you can leverage somebody from anywhere in the world and they can be your virtual online nutritionist. You might not have a PT in your local facility, but you can connect with somebody where they could be doing some type of prehab rehab stuff as part of a weekly education course that they do on your online platform. And there's a lot of people that are struggling with like depression, anxiety, and stress and everything right now. So you might not be an expert at that, but I guarantee you can find one online that would love the opportunity to come share and add value to your online community that you've built. So that's how I would, if I was a fitness professional, I owned a brick and mortar facility, and or I was an in-person personal trainer, I'm looking to develop this holistic approach. I would want to see who wins is who adds the most value, right? I joked with you before I started this. I want to add the most value to this. I want this to be the best episode Jim's ever done. What you would have to do is I would be looking to what am I an expert at? Because you asked me even before, well, what do you want to talk about and stuff? So I would know before I started my online platform what I'm the expert at. Like, man, I'm world-class at this. And I know I get good results with this. What are some areas where I'm not so strong? It doesn't mean that you don't do those things. You might, if it seems too overwhelming for you. But for me, that's where I look to collaborate. So where can I bring these experts in to add value? Because who's going to truly succeed and stay, keep this online thing going and be sustainable are the people that are able to do this. And you're not, I'll tell you this, you're not going to have all the answers, but I guarantee you, if you put in the work, you'll be able to find all the answers for your clients.
Yeah, again, I love it, man. I love it. My one of my mentors and my first business coach, Thomas Plummer, he says all the
Yeah.
time, I could fix your business, but I can't fix you. When you're talking
Yes.
about those owners that say, well, my clients don't want to go online, or my clients want to come in person, AKA I don't want to go online. I
Yeah.
just want my clients to come in person, right? Because business is business. There are certain business principles that it just apply to business in general, no matter what business it is, right? And you have to adhere to those if you want a successful business. But I find, and I don't know that it's unique to fitness business owners, but I find them always wanting to reinvent the wheel. You can give them a formula. If you follow these steps, step by step, you will have success. And they're like, well, how do I put my spin, my flavor on it? All this other stuff. And then they're always trying to tweak it. And and then they're shocked when it doesn't work. Right.
Yeah.
So I like that. So a lot of it has to do with dealing with the mindset of the owner of the business, for sure. And then you were talking about building a team. And I couldn't agree with you more. It's a brave new world, man. and the world is your talent pool. So you can draw from anybody in the world, literally, like you said, and leverage those. But it comes to down to creating a team and creating mutually beneficial relationships with those professionals. Because when you do that, man, the sky's the limit, and you can take so much off your plate and focus on what you love, right?
Yeah. And one thing with that to know also is there's always a positive in every negative.
Mm-hmm.
One of the negatives right now is a lot of people, unfortunately, have lost their jobs. Their facilities have shut down and they're looking for work. The positive is right now, if you are a gym owner and you're looking to build this thing out, talent is on sale right now. Because so many people are looking for work, especially remote options work, because maybe they're still having to be at home with their kids because their kids are still not fully in school and stuff like that. Talent is on sale. So there is opportunity now more than ever to create this and get this collaboration and build up your awesome online health and wellness team. You just got to put in the work and start making connections with people, collaborating with people. And just like we talked about, knowing who you're going after, when you're building up this team, it's just like building up a team for an in-person facility. You got to make sure that they're going to be good key players, putting the right people in the right seats of the bus, aces in their places, however you want, cheesy quote you want to say there, but it's finding the right people. It's not, they might be world-class at what they do, but are they going to be world-class and be able to speak and connect with your target market and the people that you want to work with?
Yeah. Are you guys singing the same song?
Yes.
You both may be good singers, but if you're singing the same different songs or different genres, it's not going to work.
Yes.
Yeah. Got it. I like that. All right. And then, so where would you recommend people starting if they currently have an online business and they want to take it up a notch, they want to level up, or they, say they're out of work, they've lost their gym and they still want to stay in the fitness space, starting an online business? What's a good jump off point?
Yeah, great question, and kind of two different segues, but it kind of, I would say the same foundation is with anything I see going back, like what you said, is everybody wants to get their own spin on it. And well, how can I tweak this and make this my own? Right now, if you have nothing or you're wanting to improve on what you have, the easiest thing to do is start with what you have. So if you, or of what you have had. So for example, if you are looking to create an online business and you never have, start with what you have. And this is, again, a more of my sales pitch on why people should go online. Even if you don't want to go after new people and expand your markets and actually make more revenue, who would want to do that in fitness? But let's say the biggest thing that you could use online for is going after former clients. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't have a large social media following. If you have owned a facility, I guarantee you, hopefully you've been keeping track of all that lead information. You've got your clients' contact information. You've got their cell phone. You got their email addresses, and they already know, like, and trust you. So you've already checked off a lot of the boxes right there. The whole point of even having social media is to get people to come into your world to know, like, and trust you, so that you can put an offer in front of them. These people have already given you money for a problem to solve for them before in person, and now you're going to present this online platform for them. So any former clients that you've had in the past, that's honestly where you're going to get 90% of your first clients. Whenever you do put out an offer, it's going to be existing clients and then former clients. So I always recommend people start with what they have. And then same concept, if you have an existing business and you're looking to level it up, start with what you have. There's so many of the gym owners are very much solopreneurs, one man, woman army type people, but I guarantee you've got people within your gym that are one of these experts, whether they be some type of functional medicine provider, chiro, nutritionist, dietitian, something like that, that they could come in and speak to your online community each week as some type of like live form Q&A type of a thing to add value. Or you probably have a young trainer that's super eager and he's looking for more income, and you could create them and they could be the person that takes over the online gym for you, because maybe they are a little bit more tech savvy. Like you mentioned, like last year, a lot of people had to figure out things like Zoom, social media content a lot better, and email marketing and all this online tech stuff. You might, as the gym owner, man, maybe you've been running your facility 10, 15, 20 years. You're like, I don't even want to mess with that stuff. This is a business owner. This is the beautiful thing. Hire it out. You know it needs to be done. It doesn't mean that you have to actually do the task. This is where you know what you're good at, man. I'm really good at running my facility and delivering that in-person experience. the online thing has to get done. There's not an excuse around it. I will tell you that if you want to truly build a successful fitness business, a successful fitness brand, you have to have something online. So it doesn't mean you have to do it. It means you got to find somebody to do it. Because I guarantee you, we talk about just having the different value package. If there's two gyms in the exact same city at the exact same price point, one of them is only in-person experience only. And then one has an in-person, but they also have online models for whenever life happens, kids get sick, anything like that. I go on vacation and I can still connect with them and they're still the exact same price point. The one that has the hybrid option and the online option is going to beat them out eventually.
Yeah, I agree with that. I love it all, man. Again, you're knocking it out of the park here, Sean. So one is using your existing network. One of the best examples that I've ever seen is the guy who owns the martial arts school where I do jujitsu, Kyle Watson. Great guy. Look him up. He's been on the show. You can hear his podcast. But he's great at using his membership base for resources. He needed a member check-in system. He sent out an email. Oh yeah, I'm a software engineer. I can help you with that. He bought a building for his new school. He needed the parking lot lined. Oh yeah, reached out. Oh yeah, I do that for a living. I can do that for you, no problem. And on and on and on. I mean, he just sends it out to the membership first to see what he comes up with. And 99% of the time, somebody's more than willing to help him out because they love his school and they love him. So I agree with that. And then when you're talking about hiring out people, at least in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I don't have the cash to hire anybody out. I'm strapped, man. My business, I'm broke. My business, I went out of business. I'm trying to get on this online. You don't need to lay out a lot of cash. You can create some kind of revenue share model with them. So it's a pay as you go. So you never go in the red. You're always in the black, and then the last thing that I want, and then my next question, and you can address any of those that you want, but my next question is that most of the trainers, when they first went online, and we're included in that, they just did Zoom. They did Zoom one-on-one training or small group training sessions, Zoom classes. But what about the owners out there that want to think bigger? What should they do?
Yeah, great question. This is I had a gym owner ask me this question just yesterday, and the answer was anything is possible with enough cash. So how much do you want to invest in this thing? So with that being said, you can do it. There's not only was there a huge explosion of online training, but there was also a huge explosion of online, like back-end fitness digital companies that exploded as far as like developing the software and the tech platforms to make this stuff as easy as possible for gym owners. It honestly comes down to the same thing. It depends. How much money do you want to invest in this thing? What kind of resources do you currently have? What is the end product or experience that you're looking for to deliver? Is this where you want something to where this also is tied to your CRM? It's also tied to like your client management software to where members are still checking in on it in person. There is a lot of different ways that you can go with this, all the way to developing your own custom back-end app where, that's anywhere from like 30 to 50K to invest in something like that, depending on what features that you want. So what I would say is, instead of thinking about what is out there, start with the end. Like, what's the end user experience that you're wanting to create? And then work backwards from there. So think about all the different features and things that you want to deliver with people, whether it's like, I want the ability to do live workouts and have an on-demand library. You're trying to create like a follow-along group fitness experience, or is this something to where maybe you're more of a personal training-based facility and you want to be able to send out individualized custom programs through that, where people are going to be buying things at different price points and it's not so much like a membership online? What type of membership portals do you want, as far as how will they connect and interact with each other? Because one of the big keys for success online is that online community part. Like I said, people want community now more than ever. So you have to be able to make sure, yes, you want to make sure that we're delivering some type of online community and involvement with it. What is there's so much with it. Who's going to be running this? Is this going to be something to where it's going to need its own website? It's going to need its own like payment processor. There's so many different factors with it, but I would tell you to think about what the end thing is and then work backwards from there. Because what I see a lot of people do is they create something and then they get in the middle of it and they've dumped all this money into maybe like a new website or getting an app developed or something like that. And it's not even what they wanted, or they'll create it and they're like, oh, the biggest mistake I see, not just gym owners wanting to think big, but people getting started with online training, is they created the thing. They do the right things, but in the wrong order. They create the thing and they go try to find people to sell the thing to. The right order you should be doing this in is going to your community or your current existing clients and finding out what they want created for them, and you build the thing. I wasted so much money whenever I first started to go online 5 years ago with online training. And I thought I needed to build my own app because I was like this. I've always been into tech and everything. And I wanted an app. I thought an app was cool. And then whenever I went to go sell it online to my target market was dads. I had this program called Project Dad Bod. And so whenever I went to give them the app, they hated the app. They didn't want an app. They didn't want another thing to have to download and keep track of. They wanted me just to send them their programs through Google Sheets. I was like, but this is an app. It's so cool. Look at all the features and look at all the, you can talk to each other. And like, I don't care. I just want you to, I want my program and I want to be able to talk to you if I have any questions. And that was a big learning lesson for me of that. And I see trainers do this all the time. Gym owners, they'll create their program and then they try to go sell it online. Like, I don't understand why it's not working. Because you're doing it in the wrong order. The very first step that you should do is you should create your community, whether that be online or in person. You build the community. You build your community by adding value with content, getting them to know, like, and trust you. Deliver some type of little result to them so you become their guy, their girl, their brand, their facility. Then once you have the community, it's very, very simple to be successful online, because you know what you do? You ask them what they want and you make it for them. And it's that simple. Instead of trying to reinvent the wheel like you spoke about earlier, you literally get your customers to tell you what they want and you create that thing. So if you are the gym and you're wanting to blow this online thing up, ask your clients, what do they like about their current online platform? What other online platforms are they using? What features would they like to see added and included? And then you also have to be realistic about what you can actually deliver to them. But if you just ask your people, they'll tell you what they want. And then as long as it's reasonable, go and build it for them.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Reverse engineering saves you a lot of headache, right? Yeah. Start with an end in mind. Thomas Plummer always told me that.
Yes.
So that's what I always try to do. And think big, man. Think big. Like, if, do you want to, start with a small audience and build something that goes into like a giant conference or something like that, or online conference? Think big and then build your way back from there, and set mile markers, stages, so to speak, that you can continue to build on. I like that a lot. So do you have any examples of your clients, like from a revenue standpoint, online revenue standpoint? Like, what have you seen from your clients, A, in general, and B, from the time they started with you and then after they started working with you?
Yeah, great question. So it depends, because I talked about knowing your target client and who you work with. I work with the real fitness professionals. So for me, the real fitness professional is designed with somebody that they've been in the industry for at least 3 years, training people in person, and now they're looking to add that online component. So with that, I've worked with gym owners that are panicking during COVID and they're wanting to add an online revenue stream. People that were, even before COVID, they're looking to add just like a little additional revenue to them, all the way to people that already had a multi-million-dollar online fitness business and they're wanting to scale that, add staff, and expand that brand. So it's very, very individualized. I would say what happens quicker, the quickest result that people see is they start to understand the framework. Like you're speaking about this earlier, is business is it's pretty simple. Once you understand the frameworks and everything, it's pretty simple to do this stuff, but the work is not easy. So once you get these people to understand the frameworks for what makes the business successful, not only does it help them with their in-person business or their online business, but it helps their in-person business, because unfortunately with the fitness industry, it's a low barrier to entry to get certified and get started. And it's also a pretty low barrier to entry to open up a facility. I remember I opened up my first facility after a weekend certification and about $20,000. Most businesses, you can't do that. So that's also one of the reasons why most of them fail. So with me, look, we have people that come in that are literally doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month just with online sales. Yes, they've got big brands and email lists and stuff like that. And that's what's possible online. But to me, the biggest win is getting these real fitness professionals to understand business, but most importantly, the online digital business world. Because my inner purpose and mission for what I do with EntreFit is I hate seeing these online influencers beat our people. Like there's people that have devoted their life to the craft of fitness. They are passionate about it and being the best at delivering fitness to people. And unfortunately, most of them are losing online because they don't understand how to market like the influencers do. They don't understand how to build a true community. They don't understand how to make a good, irresistible offer. It's not about what their program is, but they built this loyal tribe of following. And then also they've developed some awesome systems that support all of this stuff. You think that it's a one-man show with some of these big influencers and stuff. No, they've got huge teams behind them handling all their email automations, handling their website, telling them what type of content and stuff create. Most of these people are just the face. And why I even started this 3 years ago is because I was busting my butt as a trainer, anywhere from like 40 to 50 sessions or bookings a week. And I had somebody that I was loosely acquainted with online. We were having a conversation. She said, oh yeah, I became a trainer last month. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. Where are you working? She's like, oh, well, I just started doing stuff online. I was like, oh, okay. So you mean you're not at a facility? She's like, no, but it's going pretty good. I made $15,000 last month. Said, what? She's like, yeah, it's been kind of simple. I just started posting some pictures of myself and inviting some people to my online training program. And last month was 15,000. Jim, that pissed me off, man. I was like 8 years into my career at this point, dozens of certifications, owned multiple facilities. And I was struggling to even get anywhere close to that. And I was killing myself. And this chick is just posting some pictures and she's making more money than me. So I was like, that ain't right. So that's whenever I started trying to figure this stuff out. And I realized that it had nothing to do with her being better at the art of fitness. She didn't know how to coach people better than me. But what she did know and what I learned and discovered is how to market. It doesn't matter how good of a trainer you are if people don't know about you. It doesn't matter how good of a trainer you are if people can't actually see the results that you're putting out for people. What you need to understand is whenever you go in this online world, people only know what you allow them to see. They can't walk into your facility and see clients high-fiving each other, see the class experience. They don't see, the placards of all the testimonials that you've got on your facility walls. They only see what you allow to put online. That's why I see people struggling with this at first. Like, I don't want to post everything on social media. I don't have time for all that. If you don't have time for that, the people that are going to win are the people that make time for that, because your customers and your potential customers are only going to see the things that you put out there for them online. That's why it's so important. But so anyway, saying all of that, what they have to understand, these real fitness professionals, is these business foundations. Because if you get this understood, you understand the frameworks of what makes a business successful, not only will your in-person business continue to thrive, but you will crush it online. And in my mission, my vision is we take back the online fitness space from these influencers and we give it back to the real fitness professionals that this is their calling in life.
Amen, brother.
Getting fired up, Jim.
Amen. I'm with you, Reverend Sean.
No, we're gonna start preaching.
Oh yeah, you already are, man. You're preaching to the choir here, though, for sure. Because I couldn't agree with you more. So where can people go if they want to find out more about you, get in contact with you, hire you, have you help them, all that good stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So the best way to reach out to me is on my website. It's entrefitcoaching.com, ENTRE fitcoaching.com. And this is what I want to do. Jim, what is the podcast source or review place where you want the most reviews?
Oh, probably Apple.
Okay, so this is what I want to do. Everybody that listens to this episode and goes and leaves Jim a review on Apple, screenshots it, and then emails it to me. It's Sean@entrefit.co, or send it to me on social media on Instagram @Sean Garner. It's SeanGarner. leave Jim a review on this podcast. Tell him some value or knowledge bomb that you got from this episode. Screenshot that and send it to me. I want to personally give you a 1-hour coaching session. Where on this coaching session, I want to do a deep dive into your business. I want to find out exactly what you got going on now, hear where you want to go. And I want to lay out our 5-step framework blueprint that we use to get guaranteed results with your online fitness business. But you got to go leave Jim a review. So go leave Jim a review on Apple, screenshot it, go to our website, send it over to me, and then we'll show you how we can grow your business.
I love it, man. I love it. You know what? Mission accomplished, man. Mission
Check.
accomplished. Yes, absolutely. You have provided a shit ton of value. I
Awesome.
really appreciate it. And I want to respect your time because I know you got a hard stop at the top of the hour, but I want to get to my favorite part of the episode. And that's where I ask you my 3 questions. They're not gotcha questions, but I really like it because I think we get some of the best content on the show from them because we get the kind of peek behind the curtain, so to speak. So my first question is, what has been your most successful failure? And by that, I mean, at the time, it seemed like a devastating loss that you weren't going to be able to recover from, but you were able to take life lessons from that propelled you to greater success down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually talk about this a lot with my clients. Is got lots of failures, and because I'll say several things. I think that if you're not failing, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. And sometimes for me, my biggest failure took the longest to understand. My biggest failure was the 3rd facility that I owned, was a sports performance facility. I got really cocky and arrogant because my first 2 facilities had quick success. Come to find out, the first 2 facilities had great success because I did a lot of the right things, but by accident. And I got cocky and thinking that I was an incredible gym owner because I opened these 2 facilities and they just blew up and had great success. So went and opened a 3rd facility, bigger city, bigger facility, more overhead, hiring staff and all this stuff. And it failed miserably. I was paying myself thousands of dollars a month to show up to work and work 80 hours a week. It failed miserably. Ended up getting a really bad partnership with that. Whenever I closed the gym down, they sued me. So I paid tens of thousands of dollars more to try and get out of that lawsuit. And it was a horrible, horrible experience. It was probably not it took about 3 to 4 years after that incident where I was able to look back and actually say that, have a moment of self-discovery and actually find out, 1, what I did wrong, and 2, treat it as a learning lesson. Because for those like 3-4 years after that event, I was like in a constant state of a pity party. And I was telling myself these lies like, I did everything I could. I worked really hard. There's nothing I could have changed. There's nothing. And that's just ignorance, because there's always something that you can do to make better. And I'm also a huge fan of the book, Extreme Ownership. And after I read that, that's whenever it kind of woke me up. I was like, there's actually a crap ton you could have done, Sean. And this is where you screwed up. And so for me, how that's become such a big learning lesson is because now it's been probably like 7 years now. I know exactly what I did wrong. And it's been great because now that helps me from all those mistakes, being able to help others not live those same mistakes.
Amen, brother. And I love it. And sometimes, and I agree with you, sometimes success can be the biggest enemy of continued success.
Early success, especially. Yeah. I was like,
Yes.
I'm a superstar trainer, business owner. Like, I opened up my first facility and I'm crushing. Like we opened up our first gym. And after about 1.5 years, I bought out my competitor who was like a mile away. I was like, I'm some fitness entrepreneur. Like, I didn't do anything, man. I was just a lucky idiot.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. All right. And then my next question is, since you've been in the fitness industry, and especially on the business and the coaching side, what has been the biggest surprise that you've had to deal with that you did not see coming, COVID being exempt?
I would say, kind of like what we talked about early, I assumed that the people that were making all the money online and that were successful was because they had more knowledge in fitness. They maybe had more certifications than me. There was like some secret exercise they were doing with their clients to get incredible results for. And I was always looking for the magic bullet. Like, what's the one thing? And I always told myself, there's got to be just one thing I'm missing, and then I'm going to be successful. Like the biggest surprise that I learned is like, yeah, you know what that big one thing is? It's being consistently disciplined. to focus on the small little habits over time. It's not, I promise you guys, there is not a kettlebell cert, still mace, like animal flow thing that you're going to go take in some weekend and then that's going to make your business. It's being consistently disciplined with all the little things that seem mundane at the time. That's what it really takes to be successful.
Yeah. Again, to quote Thomas Plummer, everybody wants to do the sexy parts, but hard work and grinding is not sexy, man.
There's
but you got to do it if you want to get to the sexy parts.
Yeah. Like people joke about me sometimes because yes, I'm the online guy. Like you should be posting more like your day to day and stuff. It would be this. This is my day to day. I'll take a picture of you right now, Jim. This is my day to day. It's just it's this little admin stuff. People don't want to see the thousands of emails I send out to follow up with leads. Like they don't want that stuff. They want the cool Instagram pic. That's what they want.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They don't want to put in the work. That's the unfortunate thing. But I'll tell you, that's where there's a huge opportunity. If you're a real fit pro that does want to put in the work, there is so much opportunity out there because that's the one thing. Yes, the influencer people might have you beat right now on the marketing, but they cannot catch up with your experience and your skills on the craft of fitness. That's where if you just wake up and you realize like, man, like you've got this amazing skill, craft and thing that people are willing and already paying for. You just got to learn to get your message out there. Man, there's so much opportunity out there.
All right, good. And then we got about 3 minutes for my last question. Where do you go? I'm a big proponent of development. Where do you go for your personal and professional development?
I'm a huge reader. There's a book like for one, John Lee Dumas just got his new book out, just came out yesterday. It's the Common Path to Uncommon Success. I have a daily time set up in my schedule. I'm extremely hyper disciplined with my schedule. I spend an hour a day reading. Some people might think that sounds like a lot. And it's not because I want to read a lot of books. I actually don't read a lot of books. That hour reading time is I will read a chapter and then I will type out notes on it. So it just helps me to retain it and make sure that I'm actually absorbing the information because I don't want to just check a box and say, I read the book. I want to make sure that I check the box and say, I read it, I learned it, and now I'm applying the book. So I have that, but I also am a huge believer coaches need coaches. And I've got a business coach that I work with. I've got mentors that I have in my life and I surround myself with people, you know, the Napoleon Hill, like mastermind concept, like you have to surround yourself with people. Like it's very, very true. As you surround yourself with higher thinkers, more successful people, you just instantly raise up. So if I am the quote unquote most successful person in the room, I always say I'm in the wrong room. So you have to surround yourself with people that are doing better than you if you want to truly be pushed. It's just, this is why I love what I do. There is so many parallels between fitness and business. If you are the strongest guy in the room, you've probably peaked and you're not getting any better. You need to find a new room, a new training partner that's going to push you. Exact same thing with business. If you feel like you've plateaued, it's probably because you're hanging out in the wrong circle. So I'm a huge believer in continuing education for myself. I haven't trained a person in person for 3 years, but I'm still reading training articles and stuff like that just to make sure that I still always know what's fresh and what's working for the craft of fitness. And then always as part of always have a coach, always have a mentor, and always have buying courses and books too.
Awesome. Sean, this has been great, man. Yeah, this has been great. I would love to have you back on the show sometime.
Absolutely. I would love for a part 2 to see if we can one up this episode.
Yeah, absolutely, man, for sure. All right, man. Well, again, I want to respect your time, so I'll let you go and have a great rest of your day. And thanks a lot for sharing with the audience. I'm sure they got a ton of takeaways, and I'll be looking for those reviews, and you'll be looking for those free coaching calls and all that good stuff. But have a great rest of your day, man.
That sounds great. Thank you so much again, Jim. And you guys have an awesome day.